Hey YouTube, what's going on? It's Rogue Pro here again. The second part of the banlist discussion. I'm going to be doing these videos once at a time, so just bear with me. The next two cards I'm going to talk about are Dandelion and Lonefire Blossom. Lonefire Blossom is currently at 2 and Dandelion's at 1. I really think that a lot of people want to see Dandelion banned. It's been at 2. It's at 1. It's part of the plant engine, if you will. It's obviously, a very strong card. If they have no real plays, whether they've set it and just attacked over it and got 2 tokens out of it and they've got no real action going, or whether they've just, come straight out of the gates between turns 1 and 3 in the first or second games, it's obviously very strong. It has a lot of different applications, even outside the plant engine. I think it's good at 1. I wouldn't actually mind seeing it get banned. The reason for that is that if you don't have 1-for-1, or if they decide to limit Lonefire Blossom, you don't get as many chances to fully utilise its effect. You have to discard it or get rid of it out of your hand, or put it, dump it from your deck into the grave. So it takes a little bit of work to get going, and even then you have to have something to tune with it, or to exceed summon, or tribute summon, or whatever it is that you're going to do. But the plant engine is a really complicated thing. I don't think they need to touch Glow Up Bulb, Spore, or Formula Synchron. None of these cards are really any good with, without the help of it. So, what I mean by that is that they're no good on their own. They don't do a hell of a fucking lot. But Lonefire Blossom. Lonefire Blossom, I could definitely see getting banned. I think it's a really powerful card. I think, the ability to get there and dump pretty much any fucking plant in your deck that's an ability that not many other, what do you call it, card types have. Warriors, spellcasters, fairies, etc, etc. None of them have that ability just to get there and dump a card straight into the grave. That's a really, really powerful effect. It facilitates the rest of the other cards. I could definitely see Lonefire Blossom going to 1. I could even see it getting banned. It's not impossible to see it get banned at all. I'm really leaning towards, seeing Lonefire Blossom getting banned. As I talk about these two right now, I think that's really fucking powerful. It's almost, it's like a foolish burial for plants. Even though the only difference is you're actually playing Lonefire Blossom, and you're using other cards instead of actually playing it to dump them in the grave. Ryko, Lila, Card Trooper. There's other cards that do the same sort of thing, that can help get them into the graveyard. But Lonefire Blossom just does it all by itself, and from there it opens up, Synchron, Spore, Glow Up Bulb, Dandelion itself. I think either of them would be good, both going to 1. I wouldn't have a problem with that, but I would, I'm not against seeing, or I wouldn't see it as unfair to see either of them get banned. My prediction at the moment is that as much as I'd like to see Lonefire get banned, and as much as my logic says that it should get banned, I think they'll probably be either both at 1, or Dandelion will get banned and Lonefire Blossom will go to 1. It really wasn't all that powerful, like last format, until Tengu come along. You know, like in the last year, I won't refer to it as formats, but before Formula Synchron and Reborn Tengu came along, it really, the deck, you know, wasn't all that good. There were plant variants and stuff like that, and they were going reasonably well. But now that you've got Reborn Tengu there, and you've got the plant engine as well, you actually have, you know, a chance to set up, then explode. Whereas before, you only had just the plant engine on its own. Nonetheless, it's still good, you know, early game, you know, you can just, some crazy stuff can happen. I don't need to explain that to you. You've seen it on Dueling Network, you've seen it at tournaments, you've had people explain it to you in deck profiles. What Lonefire Blossom can do for one archetype just leads me to believe that they should probably ban it. Unless they're actively going to do it for others, or give them similar effects, which I don't think they will, then yeah, they need to seriously think about limiting it to one, or banning it. Those are my thoughts on that. I'll be doing videos leading up to September on cards singly, sometimes in pairs if they've got a lot in common, like Lonefire Blossom and Dandelion, but most of the time they'll be just one, and there won't be that many of them, but there'll be a bit of discussion as to you know, what my predictions are on them and where I think they should be going to, and bear in mind that, you know, and this is coming from the perspective of other card games as well, particularly Magic the Gathering, which doesn't ban or restrict much these days, but, you know, it's not always Konami being stupid, it's not always them being dickheads. Quite often, it's, you know, card design is, you know, trial and error. You know, sometimes they fuck up. There's no need to get angry or get the shits about, oh, this fucking card's banned, blah blah blah. You know, fucking, I understand as much as anybody else how frustrating it is to play against these cards. This is why I'm talking about it and discussing it. But sometimes, at the same time, they just fuck up. You know, they can't be helped. No one's perfect, man. There's a big fucking format in Yu-Gi-Oh! There's a really, really big format, man. And sometimes they screw up. That can't be helped. Sometimes it needs a few cards to be a certain card needs to be built around it. Sometimes the card is just outright way too fucking powerful to be at 3, and they need to do something with it straight away. I'm looking at cards like Gateway the 6 and TC Tech Genis Hyper Librarian. They're two of recent, just to name a few, you know. But yeah, there are my predictions. Feel free to rate, comment, even subscribe. I don't really care. I do this because I love the game. I do this because I love a lot of TCG games. I hope you enjoy the content. Peace.